Hey guys, Mario here. So I want to talk to you guys today about this whole drag is not for kids. And I want to start by drawing a really clear line. Anybody who comes in contact with kids, whether you're at Disneyland, whether you're hired by a private company, whether you're a teacher, you all are live scanned. You all need to be fingerprinted and background checked 100% of the time. And I'm not talking your character name, I'm talking your real name. The reason I'm saying that is because there's been a lot of talk about this whole drag going into kids, and let's start from way back at the beginning. Drag originally was theater. It was the Greeks performing on stage as women, Greeks in masks, because women weren't allowed on stage. Flash forward to the Renaissance, you still have men performing as women with Shakespeare. So you can keep going and saying that this has an even older history and it's an older tradition than most religions, most modern religions. So when you go and you kind of start looking at what's happening today and how it's reached mainstream in the 1980s, 90s, and in the 2000s, the LGBT community really fostered this drag idea, this idea of men in theater, and it's now percolated completely out into our society through movies like Tu Wong Fu, Priscilla Queen of the Desert, and now Hairspray and White Chicks, Medea. Those are actually men performing as women for the enjoyment of others. So there are levels of drag and what drag is. Now, some drags actually take their art out of the bar and they perform for kids. Again, I've already said those people should need to be vetted and background checked. But at the same time, I also understand when a friend of a friend goes, hey, you know, I heard you do drag, because a friend of mine actually does do drag. And she was approached and she's like, you know, my grandma's having a party and she really loves this song and loves this artist. Can you come in and perform for me? And he's like, absolutely. So he goes in, bases it, he learns the song, and everyone loves it. It's just impersonation. This is very common in the Hispanic culture. There's a bar down the street that has impersonators, both male and female, to basically old Hispanic songs, because that's what my people like to watch. I don't know why. But it's now so commonplace that when people go and see drag at the library, everyone's clutching their pearls. Now, what I want to make clear is they shouldn't be reading these books like, what color is your underwear? What type of feminist are you? This is not okay. On the same note, I have a friend of mine online. If you guys don't follow her yet, follow her. Her name is Kitty Demure. She did an online reading of Donald Dreams of Swamp by Eric Metaxas. It's a kid's book, basically to tongue-in-cheek, poke an eye out on the left, because they're over here reading to kids, and Kitty did this children's book, but she's not out there going, I'm going to, read to every single kid in the world this book as this character. He doesn't even really identify with much of the community anymore. He even did security for them once upon a time. He knows a bunch of these RuPaul girls, and none of them they all outcast him because of the fact that he doesn't ascribe to the same ideas that they do. If you guys aren't following Lady Maga, that's another character. That's a gay man who is pretending to be a woman for a purpose. He's using this character, this Lady Maga character, as a gun-toting cheerleader for the MAGA movement. And there's nothing wrong with that. She's not actively going out there going, hi, little kid, I want to get to know you. No, if kids want to go up there, you know what? She's going to continue playing that character. And when you talk about it as a character, you can start looking at things like Mickey Mouse and even Donald Duck and some of these other characters that you see dressed up throughout the land. Peter Pan may even be a woman dressed as a boy because they have the small frame and the small features. The character Mickey Mouse is always going to be addressed as he, him, Donald. Why don't you come take they're always going to be addressed as boys, even if it is a female underneath. So when we're surprised to see a man dressed as a woman, we shouldn't be. And that's really what I want to talk to you guys about today. This is a very serious topic. I, as a child performer, understood the differences and limitations as to what my performance could do. I understood that I was underage and I couldn't perform for a bar. That type of patron was completely absent from my life, but that's okay. I found other public venues, town festivals and community festivals and church festivals to perform at. Now, when I performed at the church versus when I performed for the public, that was a completely different set list. I have to be aware of what I was presenting to each audience. This is something that we all need to understand. So it's all about temperance, but definitely drawing a line at our kids. You need to be background checked. You need to use your real name. None of this, you were diddling somebody. No, you're not going anywhere near our kids. Otherwise, you're going to get it. I will talk to you guys later.